In Nigeria, sugar isn't just taste, it's tradition. It's in our weddings and naming ceremonies. It's in every bottle we raise to celebrate life. But the same sweetness that unites us is slowly undoing us. From classrooms to construction sites, sugary drinks have become our daily fuel. Sold as refreshment, marketed as confidence.
Personally, I take 2, depending on the weather and my stress level. I can take 3 in a day if possible. Yes, I do think about how it affects me, but then I also think about my stress level because sometimes it's a way for me to cope with stress. So that's why I take that much.
I'm not going to say I'm taking much of it, but I just love something sugary. And it's not every day that I actually drink something like that. But I think, too much of sugary things cause diabetes though.
I take 4 of drinking a day. I don't actually think about it because I'm a female, so I think maybe anytime I'm doing my menstrual or anything, it's come out with it since I'm not a guy.
Kò sí nǹkan tó múnú yàn dùn mọ́. Àwọn nǹkan tá à mú yìí náà la fi ń dunnú ara ní pé múnú ara ẹ dùn. Make yourself happy. So àwọn akọ̀wé mú náà pé ká fi múnú ara dùn. Kò sí àǹfààní kankan tó ń ṣe fára.
In a generation raised on marketing slogans, the line between refreshment and risk has blurred. Sugar isn't the villain in their story, it's the companion.
Sugary drinks are extremely cheap in Nigeria. They are affordable and accessible, and they are marketed in diverse ways. Sugary drinks corporations engage in diverse promotional activities to entice our people, and they specifically entice our youths.
Those sugar-sweetened beverages are almost the gold standard for children consumption in Nigeria. Oh, you're going to have a birthday party in school. You're going to take other yellow drinks, other orange-based sodas to the school. And it's been age-old. And part of the reason why these things have become the gold standard for celebrating those things is also a long history of advertising and commercials that have projected these things as the appropriate drink. But over the years, science has shown that they're not that appropriate.
When you consume excessive amounts of sugary drinks, what happens is that these are calories. They are what we call empty calories. That means there is no fiber, there is nothing. It's just like you pumping sugar into the bloodstream. And because of that, most of this is converted to fat or is stored as fat. So you have a high number of people coming down with obesity. In the olden days, children used to be very, very slim, but we all know that our children are getting fatter and fatter. In place of things like sandwiches and apples that people used to put in the children's lunch boxes, now you have different types of soda drinks or soft drinks which are added. And you find children growing up and developing obesity and hypertension and diabetes even before their parents develop them.
There are some foods that enter the bloodstream very quickly, and that's what we get from all these sweetened beverages, all these soft drinks. They hit the bloodstream very quickly. However, if this keeps happening over and over again, it can also affect the pancreas. That can also lead to insulin resistance. And that's how the person over time will develop type 2 diabetes. So this happens over a very long period. It can take years, 10, 20 years, for this to show up.
There are people that they cannot do without seeing a bottle of sugar drinks in a day. It comes in different forms, either the cola drinks or the orange ones. When you take it as a routine, you become addicted. The researchers have shown that you can be as addicted to sugary drinks as much as the people that take nicotine get addicted to cigarette smoking.
There's a popular saying that you are what you eat, and that underscores the fact that your health is heavily influenced by the kind of diet habit that you keep. And we know from science, from research, that heavy consumption of sugary things makes you more susceptible to diabetes mellitus type 2, and also to obesity.
Diabetes is a multi-systemic disease. Ultimately, it's also a silent killer. It affects the blood vessels that supplies every part of our body. Okay? And that is why when diabetes gets complicated, complication is not limited to just one organ. It's an head-to-foot crisis.
That is the reality for Ronke Okbale. Diagnosed with diabetes in 2022, she says her life has never been the same.
But mo wá lọ hospital, wọ́n wá run test, wọ́n sọ pé mo ní diabetes. So, kéèyàn ní diabetes, èmi rò bóyá pé nǹkan kékeré ni, èmi ò mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó yẹn pé ó lè gbẹ̀mí èèyàn at any time ni. Tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n ní kí n máa lo insulin. Insulin tó dẹ̀ ní kí n máa lò tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ insulin 6,000, 5,000. Unfortunately, insulin wá di 20,000 naira. Okay, insulin di 20,000 kò ságbára fún mi láti rà mọ́. Báwo ni mo ṣe fẹ́ wà alive?
Living with diabetes in Nigeria exposes you will have to pay from your pocket. It's individual payment. The government is not involved. So it's a huge sum. It costs us so much to manage diabetes, costs us so much to visit the doctor, it costs us so much to run the test, it costs us so much to buy a consumable like glucometer, strips. It costs us so much to eat the healthy food that we are asked. It costs us so much to even drink the water that is potable, that is clean water. So it's a whole lot of expense without government participation in it.
It's a lifelong treatment, especially when there are complications. It can be expensive. Talk about clinic visits. You have to take transportation every time to get to the hospital. You have to pay for consultation. You have to buy medication. And medication has become so expensive now.
The fallout is not on the corporations selling sweetness. It's on Nigeria's ailing hospitals and overworked medical staff.
The burden is heavy. It's heavy on the health system, it's heavy on the economy, and it's also heavy on individuals and their families that suffers these non-communicable diseases.
The price of sweetness isn't paid just at the counter. It's paid in pain, in poverty, in premature funerals.
Sweet, fizzy, refreshing. Before it conquered Africa, sugar traveled the world. From 18th century pharmacy tonics to Coca-Cola's debut in the year 1886, to its first crates rolling through Lagos in the 1950s. By independence, 7-Up had its first bottle, tying sweetness to freedom. Decades later, over 100 brands crowd a billion-dollar market. In 2021, Nigeria took a bold step, a 10 naira per liter tax on sugary drinks. By mid-2022, the law was live.
In 2021, the government adopted the tax on sugary drinks. I'm talking about beverages that are loaded with sugars now. We all know them, But then it's a 10 naira per liter tax, which is really not good enough.
The global benchmark is a minimum of 20% of the retail price of sugary drinks. And some countries are even pushing it way, way higher than that. What we have in Nigeria today is not even up to 3% of the final retail price of sugary drinks products. And that's why we're asking the Nigerian government to revise what we have upward to a minimum of 20% of the final retail price of sugary drinks so that it can serve as a deterrent in terms of reduction of consumption and as well raise revenue for government.
Let's talk about the 10 naira in your 1 liter of soda. Not the change in your pocket, the one added to your bottle of sugary drink. It's called an SSB tax, short for Sugar-Sweetened Beverage tax. Catchy, right? Not so much, but it is designed to make you think twice before you drink twice. You see, Nigeria has a sugar problem, a big one. More than 11 million people are living with diabetes, and guess what's fueling it? fizzy, sugary drinks. That 10 naira per liter? It's supposed to help fix that. Make sodas pricier. Make people think twice. And hopefully, drink something less deadly. But here's the catch. In Nigeria, we have the tax, but not the teeth.
We need at least 20% of the retail price to fight the health crisis caused by sugary drinks.
Currently, there is a 10 naira per liter on sugary drinks. That's the tax rate in Nigeria. And these tax rates were introduced in 2021. The rates or the prices of this product has tripled or quadrupled as of today. However, the tax rate remains fixed. It's not adjustable for inflation. It has not curbed excessive consumption of this product, and it's just business as usual. And that's why organizations like CAPPA are pushing for an upward review of this tax rate, not just to generate revenue for government, but also to fund health initiatives.
It's called earmarking, and right now, we don't do it. Other countries, they do. France, Portugal, the UK, they use taxes on sugary drinks to fund hospitals, schools, water programs. So yes, SSB taxes work. They save lives. They build systems. If the revenue is used well, and if the industry doesn't, sugarcoat the facts.
One thing you discover about the South African is that they had very good structures in place, institutions that were all carried along in the design, in the implementation, and in the earmarking. Talking about also the UK, one thing that made the UK tax very significant is that not just are they collecting these taxes, they have been earmarked. Earmarked meaning that this tax revenue has been dedicated for a specific use that is beneficial to the populace. Because in the first place, SSB taxes are not just about the revenue. SSB taxes are about reducing consumption and improve public health.
The law itself did not specifically direct the proceeds for that tax to the health sector. And that is an important element that we in the health sector will look forward to more advocacy of the public, because the whole essence is to direct proceeds from that to support health infrastructure, to support prevention, to support immunization activities.
For me, who is an advocate fighting for people living with diabetes or NCD, it will help to relieve the burden we face. Sometimes we have to organize money for people's insulin. You have to organize drugs for them. All those burden will be reduced if the government is involved.
The campaign for a stronger tax on sugary drinks is growing, from doctors to lawyers, from economists to activists. A coalition is demanding justice through policy. But changing the system means confronting powerful multinational beverage companies that put profits before health. And that is never easy.
Since we launched this campaign, sugary drink companies have responded massively and aggressively with false narratives about how this campaign is going to cause job losses, how it's going to ruin the economy, how manufacturers are going to leave Nigeria, and all sorts of lies like that.
In an unexpected twist, sugary drinks don't just harm our health. Their plastic bottles are putting livelihoods at risk.
Taba ju net, ó máa ń disturb net wa, ó máa ń kó sínú net wa. Taba dẹ̀ ń wa engine náà, ó máa ń dá engine wa dúró. Gbogbo àwọn ke yìí náà taba ju net ń gbà mí, kò yẹ kí net wa lọ sí abẹ́ omi dáadáa. Ibi táwọn ke yẹn bá ti pọ̀ sí jù, kò sẹ́jà ń bẹ̀. Àfi taba ti dé agbami ká tó free.
The huge volume of plastic you have in waste that is disposed, it's a lot, and then it bulks up the volume. On the other hand, it also clogs up the drainages, which means that we're more prone to flooding because a lot of people may be careless and drop it in our drainages. So plastic waste, one, can make waste management more difficult. Two, clog up drainages. Three, it makes our city a bit untidy, the overall perspective when you have plastic all over the place. And I think those will sort of summarize the impact of plastic waste in Lagos.
We had systematically carried out a 5-year brand audit. And what we found is not just only alarming, it sits very, very well with also studies, findings that have been carried out in other countries. And that's talking about the food and beverage industries. This sector accounts for the highest single-use plastic. Now, coming to the waste products, which is another sector of it, another problem of it is the waste products arising from these various products do not have a kind of revolving management process. So what happens? They are all just dumped in the environment.
Our regulatory capabilities have to be scaled. The will and the desire of the regulator to hold businesses accountable to appropriate standards, especially with respect to public health and safety, must be prioritized. And companies, whether they're multinational or domestic or not, must be held accountable and penalized.
We are having a public health crisis as of today. All of us can see it. The Nigerian government can see it. And the Nigerian government needs to take very concrete action. The Nigerian government needs to be bold. The Nigerian government needs to be courageous.
In 2025, the debate reached Nigeria's National Assembly. Lawmakers began considering replacing the flat 10 naira per litre tax with a percentage-based levy tied to the retail price. Some are pushing for at least 20%, with part of the revenue set aside for public health.
We have a program we are coming up with. We are launching on healthy youths, Nigerian Healthy Youth Champions. So working with young people to create awareness, to use them as champions for health, not only at the national level, but also sub-national level, up to community level. We want to have youth champions so that they begin to understand their lifestyle.
The message the presidency echoes across the springs of Ekiti: empower the young, let them lead. But from the hills of Ikogosi, a new current is rising. Young people, tired of the gimmicks, the sickness, the waste, are finding their voice. Trained intensively, workshops, policy simulations, media labs, all focused on one urgent fight: the health crisis fueled by sugary drinks and ultra-processed foods.
I will organize a lot of people like me, especially people that are physically disabled, educate them about the health effects of those sugary drinks. I will educate them on how it causes NCDs like diabetes, obesity, and others.
Before now, my idea of sugary drinks before the boot camp was that it was just sweet, it gives energy, and it makes you feel good. It was just like a feel good, something that you just take. But after the boot camp, that changed my mindset.
By week's end, the boot camp had forged more than graduates. It created a living network of food justice advocates ready to challenge big soda and fight for Nigeria's future. On the final day, they marched, a symbolic protest in the heart of nature, not in anger, but in faith that their voices could turn the tide.
We say the youth are the future of the country, but if these people don't even live long enough, who is going to hold our country for us in the nearest future?
Experts say Nigeria stands at a crossroads to protect its people or protect corporate profits.
Well, just to also say, and this I always say anytime I have the opportunity to speak like this, that the government will create the policy, will create the enabling environment, will provide the infrastructure, and so on and so forth. But every Nigerian has a responsibility to take control of their health. Government is not going to take control of your health for you.
The leadership of the country is looking for that balance. They need the investment, they need the economy, they need to expand shared prosperity. And so, in finding that balance, the right partner will not take advantage of those circumstantial situations, but promote the very best standard for the people of the country.